Welcome to all at Global Brand Analyst, and today we will uncover the secrets of Dermicool Summer Domination, how powder become a seasonal brand and it actually owns the Indian summer season, and we will discover their very strong and major pillars under this advertisement and what opportunity they saw in Indian summer, what are the pain points which they saw, and they built a very successful brand and they saw it as an opportunity. So it's going to be a case study in smart marketing and deep consumer insight. So if you talk about a summer season, when summers rolls around in India, it's a full blown season of discomfort, sticky clothes, endless sweating, and those nasty heat rashes which always come across to all the peoples in despite of gender. And it is the reality of Indian summers that we have a very extreme high temperature, 45 degrees Celsius plus temperature used to touches in Delhi, and there is a very sticky humidity in other regions of India, also like Mumbai, and heat rashes, sweat, and no ACs in many homes. So, as we know that's how a pain point which Dermicool saw it in the Indian market, and they saw it very from a point of view of an opportunity which is missing in Indian markets. And what was the opportunity? Dermicool saw it an opportunity to solve a very real physical pain problem. And what was the problem? The problem was coolness. The problem was relief. The problem was fast cooling. Also, the pain point which they saw is that most Telcomats powder present themselves in the market in terms of fairness, softness, and fragrance. These are their elements, but Dermicool focused on a pain relief, not on the beauty. And later on, as you can see in the picture, there's a man who is opening his arms. They also saw majority of the times there is women who are there in the telecom powder ads, but not men. And if you talk about the unique consumer insights which Dermicool saw, is Dermicool looked at the majority of from a middle income groups who faced the worst of the Indian summer because they hardly have money to afford the air conditioners. Dermicool spotted what other missed. People weren't chasing the fragrance or soft skins in the summer. Definitely, we do not chase. We choose the comfort, we choose the light clothes so that we feel less heat, we feel more comfortable. And they were desperate for, they were very desperate for the cooling, and that's a very different emotional space which Dermicool saw. Also, they saw men were pretty much invisible in the talcum powder ads, as definitely we have seen majority of the times women's. Most of that was soft beauty shoots aimed at the woman, and in a market where every brand was busy in pushing the dream of looking fairer or prettier, Dermy saw it as a seasonal opportunity to introduce their powder, and it becomes actually very successful. So these are their consumer insights, that how they very strategically, very tactfully notice each and every pain point, how to advertise the product and how to position. We will definitely uncover it also in the next slide. So if we talk about their positioning, they position themselves as a medicated solution, fast relief, fast cooling. They do not present their product as in a beauty product, which they definitely get to know about that Indian markets. Something which is missing in Indian market is a cooling from powder. Uh, Missing in the Indian market is relief, and essential like first aid. They reduce price sensitivity. Uh, and if you talk about the basic economics, so when a product moves from nice to have to must have, price sensitivity drops, purchase urgency rises because it shifts from a luxury to a necessity. And they don't portray their product from luxury point of view, they portray their product from a necessity point of view, which needs to be afforded so that every consumer can afford that. That's exactly how Dermicool managed to do, and they made themselves indispensable for a few critical months every year. Now let's talk about their seasonal marketing. Definitely, they have very smart marketing in spite of showing their advertisements through the year. What they did, they their advertisement was advertisement was a slow drip. It was a full blown flood from March to June, because that's these are the months where summers are at peak in India. And definitely We are very friendly with ads like their jingles, their advertisements, their hoardings on the road. Chubti chalti garmi ka mausam aaya mausam thande thande dermicool ka. So that's how they strategically fit into the minds of the Indian customers, fit into the minds of the Indian consumers, and portray themselves as a medicated solution and much needed product into the Indian markets. Now let's talk about how they successfully penetrate the rural penetration. Dermicool went really deep into rural India. You can find a pack at chemist shop, at a kirana store also, and they introduced smaller packets that were more affordable for the rural penetration. And it's not enough to say you care about the masses, you have to show up. They actually show up about their product. It's not more of a like they also portray their product not in form of a luxury but as a form of a necessity. And also they make sure that they should get available at every house. They should be part of every house, especially during the summers. And if you talk about the power of nostalgic ad culture, their story targeting, how they present themselves in front of the Indian market. One of the smartest move Dermicool made was how they used metamorphically storytelling in their one of the popular campaign, that is Garmi Ki Pakad campaign. They showed heat as a giant in terms of a fairy hand which you can see, and that Dermicool powder is removing that a fairy giant hand which is made of a heat, and that was very simple and very impactful in terms of to make their communication very clear to the audience. And basically, if you talk about a marketing strategy, so it's more of a like that how you communicate with your audience, what you wanted to say. That should be very clear about your product. Later on, when their products become very successful and they expand it to through a they have launched multi variants, menthol, lavender, uh, sandalwoods, and all, and many other ones, giving people the options to pick something that suits their personal preference or skin type. Different tax sizes also make it easy for consumer across geographies and income level to access the product, which was their very good product evolution and line expansion. And what I believe that they choose and they launch various product also, so that what type of the for their skin type and personal preference of the people, so that they have many options and they can whatever they like they can pick for themselves. Second, how Dermicool for Imami Dermicool fits right into their portfolio. So there are very good reasons that why it suits Dermicool suits good to the portfolio of Imami. First of all, Dermicool was solving a problem of heat, which is there the powder provides the coolness, and second, that it has a very many markets are not there into the many multinational players are not there in this category, so there was a very less pressure. Second, Dermicool also teamed up with cool version of Dettol in a very pretty smart way. And how they teamed up in a very pretty smart way, it is a straightforward offer but taps into two very real needs people have during summer. And definitely that was the first one is staying cool and staying germ free. So the moment you take a bath from a Dettol, you definitely get germ free, and to get a stay cool, you have to put Dermicool. The soap and powder combination is an easy, relatable, and flow that makes sense to the average consumer, especially in Indian intense summers. Because summer is a season of sweat, season of irritation, season of sweat, and people want a very quick and cool relief. So that's how Dermicool saw it as an opportunity and presented their product. Later on, Imami have a very smart, what do you say, combination along with the Dermicool and Dettol. So if we come across lessons which brands can learn from Dermicool is solve real and urgent problem, which is definitely they saw into the market. Heat on the season, their campaigns do not roll around through the year, especially during when summer season is at peaks. That's how they roll their marketing campaign. So it is a straightforward. It is, you can also say it is a smart strategy to cut the cost also, cut cost cutting also, and third one was go deep, not wide. Strong rural penetration through affordable packs, through uh, packs which are available through the sizes, and having a great product line expansion. Dermicool must have a summer product, increase purchase urgency and loyalty among the consumers. Thank you. Please subscribe Global Brand Analyst if you want more of such kind of case studies.